What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? I am going to be doing sporadic live streams, like I said. I saw Coffeezilla was going in on MrBeast, so felt like I had to make a video talking about it, giving my thoughts. I'm good, Flamin' Gamer. How are you? How's everyone doing? Can everybody hear me okay? I'll start the video here in a minute or two. Just going to give everyone time to get in here. Never streamed around this time, so I am going to be testing out random times throughout the day, seeing how it works. Also, because it's Thanksgiving week, work is a little slow. But yeah, I can start here in a minute. How's everybody doing? I don't know how many people would be watching around this time, but I was like, screw it. Hey, Blocky, how you doing? What's up, Matt? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started.
I secretly interviewed MrBeast after he refused to answer my questions in my investigation a few days ago. Now we have Oompaville, who MrBeast decided to do the tell-all interview with, and I was able to ask a handful of follow-up questions. I think it was 2 or 3 questions at the end of the video through Oompaville. I just wrote up a Google Doc because I had a feeling that they weren't going to be properly addressed. So we're going to go over those responses a bit out of order.
Happy early
in the
birthday,
order that I think
Gamer.
is the most interesting, actually, because unfortunately, because of how it was filmed and then the follow-up questions were asked. They're at the very end of the video, and I really feel like they actually matter a lot. It's kind of a shame because I think a lot of the questions will not be seen by most people because it's a 2.5-hour interview. Probably most people only saw sort of the very casual answering of the crypto allegations sort of more towards the middle of the story. So we're going to go through this step by step. Obviously, I wish I had been able to ask these questions myself. Unfortunately, that's just not how it worked out. So we're going to go through this. There's a lot that I'm really not happy with. I think the answers were not satisfying. They were not good. There's
hey,
a
I
few
have gaming.
times
Hey,
where we get
Coltronus, how are you guys doing?
close to an admission, and then we just kind of back off from it from MrBeast's perspective. So we'll go over it. I'm not interested in 12 more responses. This will be kind of my final story on this. Honestly, I wish I could have been able to do this in my one story about the MrBeast stuff, but of course, he didn't answer my questions then. He's now answered a few of them now, and so I'd like to just go over it since we were mentioned explicitly. This is the first question I want to start with, which is the most important one in my opinion, which is the question of who controlled the wallet. MrBeast, as we know, has maintained that it was a fund. And as I showed in my investigation, there's a lot of evidence for that. But the story gets more complicated when you see a podcast on Impulsive where MrBeast talks about at least some of those buying and selling decisions seem to have been made by him.
On a podcast with Logan Paul about CryptoPunks, you talk about a call you had with Mr. Gary where you claim to have bought and or sold CryptoPunks, but then later decided to roll the money into VFriends. And this is all like video, obviously.
I bought a bunch. I bought quite a few. I bought multiple ones. I've already sold quite a few of them. So then I rolled the money into VFriends.
And
I see some of you guys in the chat are confused. So basically, MrBeast has been accused of doing a crypto pump and dump where you basically advertise a coin that you yourself own and act like you don't, which I believe is illegal. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, Coffeezilla did like a big investigation on it.
And this trading activity all happened within the Wu-Tang wallet, which we talked about last night.
Yes.
So if it was your decision, you know, if semantically, if what you're talking about on the podcast, if it was your decision, your trading decision to buy and sell the punks or VFriends, even though you didn't press the buttons, was it actually your decision? It still, to me, would mean that you had control of those trading decisions.
Yeah, these are good questions. Actually, I'm glad we're doing this follow-up thing so we can also just put all this stuff out there. So Yes, I did say that on the podcast, and I obviously did not press the buttons like I've been saying. I didn't pick what punks to buy or anything. Gary Vee, like I said on that podcast, called me and a bunch of other people, said crypto punks are the next big thing. I thought it was pretty crazy, but the first thing I did right after that is just called the guy in charge of the fund who invested my money and it's other people's money as well, and just said, hey, Gary Vee seemed very passionate about these punks. You should look into it. If it makes sense, buy it. And so, he did the research, picked what punks to buy, bought them. That's kind of high level how it went. But, if he was like, oh, this is a shit investment, then he wouldn't have bought them. So,
All right, I cannot tell you how weird this answer is in hindsight, because you basically have to completely disbelieve what Jimmy says in 2021 to believe this story, where he got this call from Gary Vee and he calls Jason. He goes, if this fits within our trading strategy in the fund, maybe buy some. But you rewind a little bit. MrBeast is on Twitter saying, I bought this CryptoPunk. He's on the podcast saying, I bought multiple CryptoPunks.
That I bought a bunch.
He's on the podcast saying, I sold.
I've already sold quite a few of them.
I rolled the money into VFriends.
So then I rolled the money into VFriends.
And then even more crazy, he says he specifically bought certain CryptoPunks because he liked their attribute, like the cigarette one. He's like, I like the cigarette CryptoPunk.
The cigarettes, because I thought that was an interesting attribute.
But here he's saying, oh, I didn't even know which ones to buy.
I don't know which punks to buy or which ones we should buy if it's a good.
I think that MrBeast should do a specific crypto interview with Coffeezilla. I know he won't, but I think he should, because I don't think Oompaville really pressed him as hard as he should have. And I know Oompaville was like on Reddit and he was like criticizing some people who were criticizing him. It was a little weird.
Good investment.
Like real special
Yeah,
ones?
I had some that like whatever 20-30x.
What's a
We bought a lot with like the cigarettes because I thought that was an interesting attribute.
Well, which is it? I feel like if he's telling the truth now, then he was just blatantly lying then. And if he was telling the truth then, he's blatantly lying now or just trying to distance himself from this. I feel like I understand why, because the more he was kind of directing Jason, obviously the worse all of this stuff looks. But I think it's impossible to get away from the fact that MrBeast in 2021 was clear.
I agree, Shion or Shion. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. If you were in my last stream, I was basically saying that I don't know why Oompaville was starting with questions that are super tame, right? Like it took him like 3 hours to get into the Chris Tyson thing. And I think, or it was 2 hours maybe. And he even said that he forgot to ask about the Chris Tyson thing and the Shadman thing, which was like the main thing, So how could he forget that? Hey, Wrenchwater, how you doing? But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I feel like I don't know how you forget to ask the most important question, the question on everyone's mind.
Clearly in some type of contact with this fund that was not normal. This is not a normal, I'm going to give my money to a financial advisor and I don't make any of the decisions. He clearly was directing some of the strategy to say, hey, go get CryptoPunks, and then to go move your money into VFriends because Gary Vee says so. For Gary Vee to then give MrBeast a gift to the fund, like it's all very strange. And I feel like the frustration here is the fact that anytime there's a problem, it's all the fund. I did nothing. I had nothing to do with it, etc. But when you actually look at these investments were all talking about Jimmy. Like it wasn't about, oh, there's multiple stakeholders. It's Jason Williams. No. It was all MrBeast. And that's the criticism that I think he's not engaging with here. So this will matter a lot in our next part, which is about Super. One of the worst things that I think is sort of against him, where this tweet happens while his fund had been selling and continued to sell. That's our follow-up question, and you'll see some more of this. Oh, it's not me. It's all the fund.
The Supercoin tweet, for context, on May 12th, 2021, you, MrBeast, tweeted in response to it was an Elio Trades tweet. There's a gym sitting there on the market at an eye-watering price set to explode during DeFi Summer 2.0. And then you responded by saying super ? With a crazy emoji.
Yep.
So why did you not disclose that you had a vested interest in the coin that you were tweeting about? Super ? Yeah, we'll start there.
Well, I replied to a tweet, so I did tweet it out, and I think a lot of people.
Wait, you did tweet it out? You reply. This is such a weird distinction. You'll see multiple times he kind of goes like, he'll engage with something that's not really the criticism. The criticism is, well, why didn't you just disclose you had tons of super? And you'll see he bends over backwards to not answer that question.
People, you know, that are just getting second hands of the story think I literally tweet out, go buy super, go buy super. Yeah, the fund did hold some super, and I just saw that was the owner of super, the guy who made the coin, and I just went scrolling through Twitter, just replied super to his tweet. I did not tell people to buy super.
Wait, no, stop. So first of all, does not answer the question of like, why didn't you disclose it? Such an obvious disclosure. He set up, okay, like, first of all, let's back up. Jimmy set up the super pre-sale thing. That is such a big deal. In his whole thing about like, oh, I barely had anything to do with the fund. The most profitable trading decision this fund ever made was set up explicitly by MrBeast Jimmy Donaldson. Now he's saying like, oh, it was just the fund that held that. No. You set that up. You're the reason the fund held that. Okay? Then we have, oh, I was just responding to a tweet. Well, what was that tweet that he was responding to? He goes, I didn't tell anyone to buy super. The tweet that he responded to was, there's a gym on the market at eye-watering prices. No coin is mentioned. So they're basically saying, like, there's this incredible play you could make on the market. And Jimmy's response to the guy he got in the pre-sale with is super, and he doesn't disclose, one, that he set up a pre-sale and he's, like, in before anyone else, right? Millions of dollars, he's in. Two, that his fund had been selling and continued to sell after that tweet. Like, the most irresponsible, even if you want to give him ultimate master benefit of the doubt, incredibly irresponsible.
Blue, the legend strikes again, man. W's to Blue. If my math is correct, I think this is his 107th gifted member. So a lot of you guys who have your memberships is because of Blue. So W's in the chat for him. Good guy. And he was helping me combat some bots the other day as well. But yeah, actually that's a good point to take a little intermission. What do you guys think so far? I do think that a lot of the answers that MrBeast gave Oompaville were decent, but I feel like Oompaville wasn't really asking any hard-hitting questions, right? Now, with the Coffeezilla crypto thing, MrBeast seems less sound on the crypto thing, but with everything else, he seems pretty confident. So, except for the Chris Tyson thing, actually. But yeah. So I feel like Oompaville, definitely didn't push MrBeast at all. And I said this in my last live stream that I did, where I reacted to that interview. Go check it out if you haven't already. And yeah, I see someone asking if I'm gonna make videos on the dog pack thing. Nah, I mean, for me, I don't even really like making videos on the drama anymore. I'd rather do live streams because I want to hear what you guys think live, if that makes sense. But I would rather talk more about like YouTube issues and stuff. But yeah, it just depends on what you guys want. If you guys want me to, I will, but I feel like the dog pack drama thing is kind of dead in the water. Anyways, let's keep going.
Responsible, and there's no way that a single person did not see that, and multiple people, I'm sure, see the biggest influencer in the world talking about this, some great low cap coin at eye-watering prices. He's responding this, and they don't see that as a buy signal from MrBeast. Again, of course, he didn't explicitly say that, and that's the kind of the fake criticism he's trying to engage with is something that nobody's saying, which is that he said, go buy super. Like, you have to just be completely disconnected with the story to think anyone's saying that. We all know what he said, but he doesn't engage with this at all. And it's just so frustrating to see this. Like, this is his chance to kind of own it and say, hey, look, this was shady. I shouldn't have done this. I can even buy the fact that, maybe MrBeast had no idea his fund was selling, right? That's fine. You can say that. But you can't dodge the accusation like you should have disclosed it. You can't dodge the fact that you were involved, like directly involved with the super pre-sale. So,
thank you, old man Briney. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like so many people make videos milking the shit out of the MrBeast drama, and they make hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars off of it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I am a little salty about it because I'm over here struggling and I'm watching these people make the same video over and over again and making thousands of dollars. And I'm like, fucking hell, man. Like that shit fucking gets to me. And obviously, if I'm gonna be talking about Mr. Beast, I gotta talk about more Pegasus, right? I've said this on multiple streams though. Like we have talked though, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, he does seem like a good guy. But, I did make a video calling him out, and he did say he watched the video. But then when it came to the deep humor drama, he supported me. So, I mean, I don't know how I feel about him, but from my interactions with him, he does seem like a good guy, but he has milked the Mr. Beast things. Two things can be true at once, you know?
We'll let him keep talking here, but that is like undergirding this whole thing is, you know, this complete dodge of the criticism when honestly you should just be honest and say, yes, it was shady, it was wrong, I shouldn't have done it.
Or anything. I just replied super. And I know the next thing where people are going to go, but this was a planned coordinated thing. It wasn't. It's not like I'm on the phone with the people managing the crypto fund going, hey, I'm about to reply super to this tweet. Like,
again, I've never said that we have proof of that. We don't have proof either way. We just have to take Mr. Beast at his word that he wouldn't do something like that. I do think there are other ways to do pump and dumps like this if you really want to. However, that is not the problem. The problem is you got in a coin early and you're putting out these publicly positive signals while your fund is selling. Whether you know it or not, that's just like so deeply wrong and unethical. So again, is it an illegal scam? No, I personally don't think so. I mean, I think we'd need more evidence for that. But is it shady and should you take accountability for this? Like, obviously shady move? Yes. And I don't feel like he is.
Like, I just was scrolling Twitter and I replied super, and like I highly doubt anyone bought it.
I literally this drives me crazy. The fact he goes, I just said super, as if
so true. AFK
it's like
user.
without
So
context, as if he doesn't know what he's responding super to. Like that's so I don't know. that drives me crazy.
Thank you,
Because
Delay
they saw
Dan.
me reply super to a tweet. I mean, just to be honest.
To what
so
tweet?
I didn't think too much of it. Obviously, though, in hindsight, I mean, I could see how people might think that is a weird look optically, and so like I wouldn't do it. But I mean,
it's not just so. First of all, we should give him credit here. He admits that it's bad, but he only admits that it's bad optically. He's like, yeah, it's like if you look at it without context, like yeah, like if it's bad optically, so I guess I wouldn't do it. No, it's just bad. Like you should not be positively talking about coins that you have a financial stake in because you set up that financial stake while you're selling, while your fund is selling, without disclosing it. Like it's the most obvious stuff. This is influencer
I like Smash Bros, but I
ethics
haven't played it in a while.
101. We are not in the like senior levels of influencer ethics. This is the most basic thing. It is not just optically a problem, it is actually a problem.
I mean, I really don't think it's that malicious. Like if I just flat out tweeted, I think super is the next big thing. Go buy it. Super, super. Like I think this is a different conversation. That's the kind of stuff actual people do. You know what I mean? And like
actually stupid people do. Most people who are trying to like pump coins know that they can get in trouble by going, go.
I agree, Delay Dan. I think that, I mean, for me, I don't know about you guys, right? But I haven't really seen Coffeezilla's videos. I've watched like maybe a few throughout like the years that I've seen him on YouTube. But with him, right, I feel like he would be the perfect mix of being fair and being kind of like assertive, right? Like, so for example, he's interviewing Mr. Beast. He's not going to be like a dickhead to him. He's not going to be like, all right, bitch, sit down. Let's fucking go, right? But he is going to ask him some hard-hitting questions. And when Mr. Beast gives a not satisfactory answer, he's going to grill him a little bit in a respectful way. But I mean, still, like, you know, you can be respectful and you can still, you know, make sure someone is given good answers. Two things you can do that. Hey, Pamela, how you doing? I saw Coffee's videos. Coffee does a good job of pointing out that. Yeah, exactly. Let me know what you guys think, though.
Go do this explicitly, buy. Instead, most people go like eyeball emoji. Like most people do like subtle stuff. This idea that people are like the only way you can cross the line is by explicitly saying, go do this right now, sign in to chase.com and go to this thing. And, you know, of course there's levels to this stuff, but the idea that the only way it could be a problem is if you said explicitly, go buy is just being willfully ignorant about how this stuff works in practice. Again, I'm not even saying that this was an explicit pump and dump. I don't think we have enough evidence for that. But we do have evidence that this is extremely shady. You are crossing some influencer ethics here. And like, as the guy who has such a clean image that's a children's channel, it's not like you're some edgy guy. You have this very, well, you know, this was kind of his, I don't know what people think of MrBeast now, but it is kind of his brand he's going for. And so, I don't know. I just would think that he would see this very much more clearly. And then that's what makes me think it's more of a dodge than anything. It's like he, of all people, should understand why you shouldn't be doing this.
So,
yeah, scammers.
So I just don't, yeah. So it was just interesting too, because Coffee never said I was a scammer in his video. Yeah, you know,
That's true. That's true. I said it was shady. I did not say it was a, he's a scammer.
So many comments on it. Just,
right.
You know, a lot of people just want to drive, you know, whatever. People who don't like me, like he said in the video, are not going to like me, and they're, you know, going to run with it. People who do like me are.
I'm not saying I think MrBeast would like sue Coffeezilla per se, but I'm glad Coffeezilla didn't call him a spammer or a scammer, sorry, because we're in a day and age now where you can sue people over anything, dude. I made a video about another guy named Deep Humor on why I thought he was copying me, and he threatened to sue me. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to be careful with your words nowadays. Like, so it's a good thing that he didn't explicitly call MrBeast a scammer, because you can take that one word and you can actually sue somebody off of it. It's kind of wild. Not saying MrBeast would do that, but I'm just saying, you know.
We're going to be like, oh, it was managed by a fund, and Jimmy has answers for everything, which, I mean.
No, he doesn't. Wait, that's not what I said. I said if you want to believe MrBeast, there are scapegoats at every turn, which I do believe.
No, I haven't heard about that, Jackson. That's interesting. Do you have like an article to that or something? I'd love to read it.
It's true. You can just believe that, you know, Jason Williams was in charge of everything. And I think that's probably somewhat true. Like, I think there's some truth to that, but not everything. That's the point, is like he was in charge of some of the stuff. Some of the stuff MrBeast set up. Some of the stuff MrBeast was involved in. And another thing we don't have any clarity on is like who else was in this fund. I've tried to ask so many people, including Jimmy, obviously, and have not gotten any transparency about this. The only names I've ever heard mentioned in the context of this fund was MrBeast, Jimmy, Jason Williams, and then Alex Becker for the Earn presale specifically. Like, not all the presales, just the Earn presale specifically. I have not heard a single other name mentioned in regards to this fund, period. So I'm just putting that out there. Doesn't mean that's the only people. From what I've seen, it seems like mostly MrBeast's money, mostly MrBeast's decisions in terms of if he decides he wants to go into something, it seems like that's what the fund does.
It's not excuses. I literally was just a fund. I was not the one buying or selling or anything. You know what I mean? I had other people managing it.
Right.
So that's the honest answer. I just replied super, and, you know, I guess if I could go back in time, I'd just not reply. I mean, I didn't think it was a big deal when I.
Oh, is he blue? Oh, Logan is. Oh, I thought you said MrBeast is. Yeah, no, I know Logan is trying to sue Coffeezilla. I saw his video about it. That's messed up, man, because I'm pretty sure Logan was like confirmed wrong in his whole crypto thing, right? Like, or not, was it crypto, or what was Logan's thing? He was, wasn't it, didn't he have like an app or something? Like a Pokemon crypto, some shit like that, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't trust Logan Paul, man. He's one of the shadiest characters on YouTube, man.
Did it?
Yeah, but now, I mean, obviously, with because crypto is changed massively in the last couple of years, so you could consider that a mistake at this point. Like, that's definitely
Another
Why the butt? Like, it's the most layup thing. Hey, Oompa even gives him kind of the out, which is that back in 2021 things were harder, like which I don't personally agree with that part of it, but back in 21, all you have to say is yes. That's it. That's all you have to say. It was a mistake? Yes, it was a mistake. Instead, it's yes, but.
So you could consider that a mistake at this point. Like, that's definitely,
And another little context point I think a lot of people are missing. A lot of people who do this kind of stuff do it on low volume coins that, like, sell $100,000 a day. So it actually dramatically pumps it and blah, blah. Super is like the 100th biggest crypto coin out there. Super is like a legit coin. It's a legit project that's massive. Like that tweet didn't move the needle for shit or anything.
All right. So what I hate about this is he just does this thing like, I'm not the worst person in the world. Like he just keeps comparing himself to other people. And it's like, yeah, we even make that distinction multiple times. It's like, this is not the same as some other things, right? We are just asking for basic disclosures, basic ethics, like nothing that crazy. So I feel like when he compares himself, I'm just like, yeah, but, you know, it's like me getting pulled over for a speeding ticket and going like, yeah, but your officer, like some people go 100 miles an hour in this school zone. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. You're still speeding. That doesn't, right? I didn't even bring that into the conversation.
Imagine if when he said that speeding thing, like 100 miles per hour in the school zone, imagine if he mentioned Marquez Brownlee. You guys know about that, right? MKBHD, the tech YouTuber, he was like speeding like 90 miles per hour and he tried to hide his speedometer in his video. Coffeezilla had the opportunity to make the funniest fucking joke right there.
Just answer the question instead of going like, yes, it was a mistake, but all these other people are way worse than me, but this and this and this and this, and I had nothing to do with it. I just feel like just own up to it. It's fine. So we're going to now move on from this super thing to the other thing, which is earn token. I think there's a big miss here as well.
And then the final one, this one's a lot more complicated and involves a lot of stuff. So I mean, maybe you would want to reconvene with like receipts or evidence or whatever. But it's the crypto charity stuff. Team C's Eternity.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that one. Eternity gave us NFTs to auction off for Team C's. Only one sold after like a day, I believe, and that was it. And then it looks like the fund sold like 27 days later. A little bit of Eternity.
This was the craziest part of the interview, in my opinion. It's such a layup answer. Yes, I'm the charity guy. I'm expected to be held to high standards. Anything that makes me look like I'm abusing a charity is bad. So I feel really bad. I shouldn't have done it. No matter if the charity flopped, it was a big problem. Instead, he says, oh, we sold after the charity. The one NFT sold. Not true. Then he said, we only sold a few tokens. Also not true. They sold $2 million. And then on top of that, here's where you can actually see the dates of all this stuff. You can see the offer was made on November 2nd. Is that what he's referring to when he says, oh, we sold it? But because that's not actually true. The sale did not happen until December 23rd, 2021, after the fund sold. So this whole idea he's going to say multiple times where he's going to go, oh, we didn't sell anywhere near the charity time. First of all, that's not true. Second of all, it's just literally false, and NFT sold after the fact. So this whole defense of his is based on misinformation, which is the idea that the offer, the offer was made on November 2nd, but the actual transfer and sale date wasn't made until December 23rd, 2021. You can see the date here. It says bid 1 for this charity thing. And this is just such a basic thing that is just, I think, incredibly, it's just misinformation at this point, which is ironic because that's what MrBeast says he's, so against. But he downplays this whole thing, and I just feel like there's no need for this. Even if he's telling the truth, it doesn't matter because it's wrong anyways. But the fact is that
Here's my opinion on this. If MrBeast did an interview with Coffeezilla, and he actually lets Coffeezilla ask him some hard-hitting questions about all this crypto stuff, and, maybe he admits where he went wrong and stuff like that, to me, that gives him the opportunity to kind of put all this behind him. The rest of it, the rest of it, he kind of already addressed on Oompaville's video, even if he doesn't, he didn't give good answers. But I feel like the rest of it, he can kind of, he could just go back to making normal videos, I think, right? Because if he really does an interview with Coffeezilla, I know Coffeezilla would hammer him, in a non-sexual way.
the bid actually wasn't won until after the fund did sell. And again, and I'm going to play it for you again, because just the way he frames this is so unbelievable. It wasn't a little bit of earn. It was $2 million, okay? Unless that's what we're saying is a little bit of money, just I casually sold $2 million, just a few tokens. But I'm going to let you guys listen to this again because I just found this unbelievable.
Eternity gave us NFTs to auction off for Team C's. Only one sold after a day, I believe, and that was it. And then, yeah, it looks like the fund sold like 27 days later, a little bit of Eternity.
A little bit. That's just crazy. That's crazy to say. Again, it's not even I even said in my video, I don't think this was some premeditated thing. It was a flop of a charity, so it would have been a disaster to do it that way anyways. But the fact you just can't even take that little bit of criticism that you're the charity guy, it looks like you're profiting during a charity, and that's just bad. Like, why do we have to downplay it so much? Just bizarre, honestly. We'll listen to the rest of this.
And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the full story. There's nothing nefarious there.
Yeah, it sold $2 million of the earn token.
Yes, obviously. It's like the most obvious comeback.
Yes, the fund did 20.
Oh, now there it is. There's the fund. Hey, the fund did. You know whose name is on Eternity? Not the fund. It's MrBeast. That's why the criticism is here. It's MrBeast the whole way. It wasn't Nick Rose, the CEO, going, hey, guys, this rocket fund is investing in us. No. It's MrBeast. MrBeast is supporting this drop through his charity, Team C's. I cannot.
AFK user, just DM it to me on Discord. I'll post it after the stream. I can't let people post links on Discord because people post some weird ass shit. So I'm not going to let people post links. We already had issues with that in the past.
Understand why we can't get to a basic hey, I'm taking the L on this one.
27 days later, yes, after
Not
the
after
NFT
it.
sold.
Before
Okay.
it. Before
Yeah,
it
that
sold.
seems. It seems like a lot. I don't know what the market cap was, but yeah. I mean, I just for this one, I feel like this is a valid criticism, and this doesn't make you like an evil scammer or anything. I don't believe.
Just the way Oompa said that, hey, man, it's just a criticism. It's not even making you a scammer. Just this basic. Can you take a little bit of responsibility here? And the reaction is unreal. It's like, even with a very charitable interpretation of his motivations while selling $2 million during a charity, right? There's not that many good ways to look at that. Even through the most charitable, ironically, lens, MrBeast does not accept this. It's crazy.
I feel like this is one where the criticism is valid. It is a good example of philanthropy stuff that probably should have just been done differently. But at the same time, 2021 is like a huge area of gray for influencers with crypto access. And it's just, I don't know. It seems like a game that if you're a big influencer in 2021 or 2020 and you got into crypto at some point, you probably made some kind of mistake at some point.
Oh my gosh. The softest setup ever. Easiest way to say yes. You just go, hey, man, I'm not even calling you a scammer. I get it, but it does seem valid. You sold $2 million, right? But 2021 was a crazy time, different time, whatever. Watch how MrBeast responds to just the lightest pushback, the most basic, hey, just accept a little bit of criticism.
But as the charity guy, if your fund is privately making millions of dollars during a charity drop that your name is attached to, even if
so again, that I would say is not fully correct. So the charity,
he can't even take the little bit of criticism. He's like, no, not correct. Let's hear him out.
Drop happened. One sold, the other ones weren't selling. No one cared. So there was no selling of NFTs to raise money for charity anywhere near where the fund was selling before or after.
Yes, it was. It was after. It sold that's just not correct. That's just not true.
The funny thing is, Coffeezilla did a bunch of research on this topic. That's why he's making a video responding to this. But I already know that all those commentary channels out there are going to somehow find an excuse to make 10 more videos about MrBeast. I mean, I know I complimented More Pegasus earlier, but I heard that he made a video about more MrBeast on Oompaville's video, and he said, "Oh, you know what? This is probably my last MrBeast video." Literally 2 days later, he made like another one, and I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's doing that to like be ironic, like if he's doing it as a joke, but yeah, he has milked the situation harder than anybody else, man.
Could technically still have bought those NFTs, but no one did because it just basically no one cared. So I just don't.
Honestly, this is so annoying. The way he does this, he goes like, "Oh, the charity was a flop, so it doesn't matter." And then you criticize him about Super, which was not a flop.
We got Frieza
in
the chat.
Well, yeah,
dude.
it's successful. What's the problem? What's the problem? It's so successful. So isn't that good? Actually, if it's a flop, it doesn't matter, and it's not bad. If it's good, then actually maybe I was doing the right thing by by talking about it. It's crazy both ways. No valid criticism here.
I don't feel like that's a fair criticism. Like they gave.
I'm sorry I'm pausing so much. It's like so unhinged to say. After the lightest pushback, hey, maybe this is a bit bad. Not even saying you're a scammer. 2021's a different time. Oh, that's not fair criticism. No, not fair criticism. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Sorry to say, yes, it is. It was bad. You should feel bad. You don't.
You said Pegasus is a modern Leafy? That's an insult to Pegasus. Dude, Leafy literally made videos bullying children and people with mental disabilities. Leafy is probably the worst YouTuber in the history of YouTube, man.
Feel bad, which is a problem. I think it's actually a huge problem. This is crazy. MrBeast is living in a bubble where he thinks, and like, I don't know, can you not just take basic accountability here? Nobody's even asking. No one's trying to lock you up here. Everyone's just asking for basic, hey, this was irresponsible. I shouldn't have done it. Just take the criticism.
I don't feel like that's a fair criticism. Like they gave Team C's some NFTs to raise money. One sold, no one cared, and then it just basically died. And then just under a month later, yeah, it looks like the fund sold some tokens, completely unrelated to all of this. So
how do we know that?
It's not.
Yeah, this is like the most active I've seen chat since I've said that. All right, you know what? Since we're on the topic, who do you guys think is the worst YouTuber in the history of YouTube? Leafy's in my top 5 for sure, dude. Say what you want about everybody else. Leafy would make videos, put a child's face on it, and then he would say, "Is this kid fucking?" And then he would say, you know, the R word, a slur for people with mental disabilities. Dude, Leafy is a cunt. And I don't say that word a lot on YouTube because I know I'd get in trouble for it, but Leafy was such a piece of shit. Man, he was fucking horrible. I'm glad he's gone. Keemstar of the Paul brothers? Yeah, I see that. Logan Paul, Shane Dawson? Yeah, Shane Dawson's up there. Didn't Shane Dawson do something with his cat? Or was that just a joke, or did he actually do something with his cat? Keemstar is there. J Station. Yeah, J Station J Station made a video where he pretended like his girlfriend died and did a fake funeral. Remember the Baited podcast? I love the Baited podcast, Newbings. Even though I think Keemstar is a prick, but that podcast was so good. Dr. Disrespect, yeah, Dr. Disrespect, not the best. Jeffree Star, what did he do? Did he like do something with minors or something? EDP, well, there's a guy I know who did something with minors. Seth the Programmer, wasn't he a Dragon Ball YouTuber? Right? FouseyTube, yeah. I mean, I feel like there are worse people than FouseyTube, but FouseyTube is an attention seeker for sure. That man cries for nothing, dude. I'm sure you guys have too. I've been through a lot of stuff in my life. I look at FouseyTube crying about the dumbest shit, and I'm like, dude, like, how easy was your life, bro? Aiden Ross, yeah, he's not the best. Quebblecop was like one of the biggest clickbaiters in the history of YouTube. Tate, yeah, I agree. Not a fan of him. Dude, you wouldn't believe how many people love Andrew Tate, man. Even though he will make videos and tweets where he's like, oh, you know, he just says the most like crazy shit. I don't know. Yeah, J Station faked his girlfriend's death. Yeah, that was fucking wild. That was one of the wildest things on YouTube. He lied about his girlfriend dying. Fucking hell, man. That was brutal. All right, let's get back to the video.
It's not like this. Where's a charity drop that was selling hundreds of NFTs a day, and in the middle of all of it, they sold some earn tokens. It's like one NFT sold, raised money. The charity, sell just basically died. It's not going. No one's buying it. No one ever buying it anymore. And almost a month later, it sold. So I mean, if anything,
again, timeline is so important here. The bid was not given, sold, and the transfer didn't happen until after the sales. The charity was ongoing, and during that is when the fund sold. So this whole dodge here is inaccurate.
It's not going. No one's buying it. No one ever buying it anymore. And almost a month later, it sold.
What did Sniper Wolf do again, guys? I know she did a lot of stuff. So one thing I know is she doxed Jack's films, right? Told everybody his address. What else did she do? I know she was faking playing video games. She was pretending like she was playing on a controller, but it was actually somebody else, something like that, right? What else did she do though? Gets into drama, stole content. Okay. Yeah, it's fucked up. You guys know stealing content and titles and stuff, that hits close to home for me. She was in front of his house? What the hell? Really? She shoplifted? She said Azzyland copied her even though she stole Azzy's whole flow. You ever heard of Mr. Anime? I have not. Didn't she get arrested once? Did she? I know the doxing thing. I mean, that one is confirmed because she literally, I heard she streamed it, right? Yeah, Blue, yeah. Okay. So let's talk about real men. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, if I had to give an impromptu top 5 worst people on YouTube, I'd say Leafy. He's got to be on that list. He is such a piece of shit. Keemstar, terrible. I think Keemstar is more entertaining than Leafy though. I think Leafy not only was a piece of shit, but he made bad videos. Who else? Who are some other scumbags? Yeah, J Station for sure. J Station really sold his own girlfriend out. Yeah, pretend like you're dead. I'll get views off of it. Thank you, Nate. I appreciate that. Who else sucked on YouTube? Only good thing about Leafy was the surf gameplay. Yeah, but that doesn't exactly undo him bullying children with mental disabilities. Vegan Gains, dude. He's a prick. I hate that Leafy created the commentary style I enjoy. Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess that's fair. I mean, for me, whenever people make videos shitting on kids, that one, that really gets to me because it's you're bullying children. Leafy had an audience of millions of people, and he would make a video dedicated to a child, and he would fucking roast the kid and call them ugly and shit. I don't know how he has fans, but then again, I guess fucking other terrible people have fans too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Keemstar spreads misinformation. Yeah, his infamous thing where he said that one old dude was a child enthusiast. I remember that. That was really bad.
So, I mean, if anything, it looks like the people in the fund were being cognizant of it and paused selling and waited till long after it ended to do it.
What? What is he talking about? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm going insane.
Yeah, AFK user, I can't say the other word because I get instantly demonetized if I do. The P word. I mean, to be fair, what Leafy does is pretty much what 70... Yeah, okay. I mean, maybe that's true, but I don't know who those people are, so I can't give my opinion on them. Leafy was one of the biggest commentary YouTubers. No, he pretty much was the biggest commentary YouTuber at his time. So the fact that he uses that power and influence to bully children and to bully people with mental disabilities, it's fucked up. And, there's a bunch of edgy-ass kids in 2016. I mean, a lot of people who do stupid shit on the internet are younger, let's be real here, because they're they have anonymity. Oh, nobody's gonna know who I am, so I can just say all this horrible shit to people. Leafy kind of created this culture of edgy-ass loser kids who would go and say horrible racist and homophobic shit to people. I would love to get Leafy in a call one day and talk to him about it and see how he tries to defend what he did, because he should be fucking ashamed of himself for the content he created. Yeah, I'm pretty passionate about that, because I there's a difference between, like, let's say somebody makes a video about somebody else and says, oh, you know, his videos are bad, whatever. Leafy literally bullied children. That's so fucked up. I don't know how people can defend that.
Listening to this. Oh, it looks like my fund was actually responsible and waited till after the charity ended. It hadn't ended. They didn't wait. What are you talking about? And it's not the fund. Your name is on the website. Oh, I gotta calm down. This is actually crazy. I so badly wish I had been here to to say something about this. This is mind-blowing. I mean, it's mind-blowing.
I'm gonna disagree with that, Dan. I actually really disagree with that, because this is the type of video that Leafy used to make. He would find a 10-year-old who was on YouTube dancing to some song or something like that, and then he would shit on him. What criticism was there for that video, for that kid? We all, or not all, but, you know, a bunch of us when we were younger made cringy ass YouTube videos where we were just trying to express ourselves. Imagine if freaking Moist Critical, Penguin Zero, made a video about you and just started roasting the shit out of you to his audience of 16 million people. And they all come to your channel and hate on you and call you slurs. So, I mean, I know you meant like in a general statement, but what Leafy was doing wasn't criticism. It was straight up fucking harassment, you know? Like, for me, like when Leafy goes after Pokimane and makes 10 videos on her, I still think that's kind of fucked up, but at least Pokimane is an adult with an audience and she can kind of fight back. But when Leafy is making videos bullying children who don't have any audience and no voice for themselves, it's like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And I appreciate Oompa kind of doing these follow-ups to get these answers, because earlier during the podcast, he kind of just doesn't really say any of this stuff. And here's where we're getting some actual answers, as unhinged as I believe they are.
You know what I mean? So I actually disagree. I don't think anything nefarious was done there, to be honest.
Okay, just to be clear though, you keep saying a couple coins, or like you're downplaying it. It's $2 million of earned tokens. That's quite a bit. That's like a lot of money.
Of course. I mean, and obviously not all of it is mine. It's the fund.
Look, even as he's agreeing with the criticism.
Vigilance, he said, off topic, what's my thoughts on AI Moist shenanigans? I don't really mind AI content if it's used for memes or if it's obviously a joke. But the whole culture now that we have where people are using AI to make people say things that they didn't say, I don't like that at all. Like, people are using AI to slander people, you know? That I'm not a fan of. But I've seen some of the AI Moist videos, and I think Critical reacted to some of them. Some of them are kind of funny. I mean, but I don't know if you guys know, but when you upload a video on YouTube, what's it called? Basically what you have to do is you have to let YouTube know if your content is altered by AI. I don't know if you guys knew that. YouTube asked you that, and you have to answer that question. So, yeah. YouTube is starting to take steps to battle AI content. What do I think of Pyrocynical? I don't really have an opinion on him. I haven't really watched any of his stuff, but I know that he was like not that bad. Like, out of all the 2016 commentary horrible people I just mentioned, I remember Pyrocynical wasn't that bad in comparison to those people. You know,
he still downplays it. He goes, hey, it's $2 million, it's not a few funds. And then MrBeast goes, of course. Well, if you agree, then why did you say a few coins? He goes, of course, but it's not all my money, it's the funds. He cannot. This is just, oh man. I don't know. We'll listen to that again. That's just crazy.
That's like a lot of money.
Of course. I mean, and obviously not all of it is mine. It's the fund. But it was also known that my fund was invested in it, and I was a part of the fund. So it's also not like it was hidden that we were invested in Earn. Like that was.
Again, MrBeast was disclosed. It was not the fund. It was MrBeast. MrBeast was in the Eternity thing. MrBeast set up the pre-sale for Super. MrBeast was saying that, oh, I like the cigarette CryptoPunks, whatever. I feel like there's no engagement with the actual real substance here.
Like I said, I don't actually watch Pyrocynical, but I've heard that his main channel videos are pretty good. That's what I've heard. Um, for those of you guys that watch him, let me know. Does he make good videos? I've heard that his main channel videos are like really good. I'm surprised you don't reach out for sponsorships. I do reach out for sponsorships. Um, I don't want to advertise products that I feel like you guys wouldn't like though. Like I've had people reach out to me like advertise jewelry and stuff. Like for me, I don't think that would be something that you guys would care about. I would want to advertise things that you guys would actually use, like maybe like a VPN, maybe some computer parts, something like that. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. Never take a Timu sponsorship. Yeah, I made a video calling out Timu, so me taking it. You know what? I actually would take a Timu sponsorship just for the meme. Like I would sponsor them on a video. I would take their sponsorship on a video where I shit on them. Imagine, imagine I agree to their sponsorship, but then I make a video where I'm talking about how bad they are. His main channel videos are good, yeah, but if you're into content, he makes it funny and entertaining. His channels are just slop. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, and again, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I feel like the word slop gets overused nowadays because I don't think people understand what slop really means. Like, again, I know I was complimenting him earlier, now I'm shitting on him, but More Pegasus makes slop videos. Like, he makes videos on the same topic over and over again, where his thumbnail is basically the same. That is what I would count as slop content, you know? So, you got to run to a service call to take care of. Thank you, Blue. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the 20 gifted memberships. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I think that a lot of slop content is like people call everything slop nowadays. Like I made a video a few days ago, and again, I try to focus more on the positive comments, obviously. I never give the negative comments a response. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that, but I read a comment where they were like, I made a video about Spotify being a potential competitor to YouTube since they're trying to. And somebody was like, this video is slop. And I'm like, how the fuck is this slop? Are you stupid? Like, but yeah, I always ignore the negative comments. I only heart comments that are giving me constructive criticism or they're actually, you know, complimenting the video or whatever. I try not to because basically what a lot of people do is they'll engage with negative comments on their channel, like only negative comments, not the positive ones. And basically, what they do is people become more negative on their channel because they're like, oh, if I want to get this guy's attention, I have to be negative, if that makes sense.
So yeah, I just found this interview, at least from the crypto side.
Yeah, I agree, AFK user. That's why I try to focus more on the positive. Like, again, that's why you'll never see me actually reply to a comment where they're like shitting on me or the channel or whatever, you know. I don't understand why people respond to hate. I feel like that makes no sense. If you respond to hate, all you're telling your viewers is if I want to get his attention, I need to be a piece of shit. But if you heart positive comments, which I always do, that shows, okay, well, this guy at least appreciates his audience. I'm kind of rambling, but I think you guys know what I mean.
Because that's really what I know about. Very disappointing. I feel like besides kind of admitting a little bit that the super tweet was like optically bad, there's very little in the way of real coming to grips with this is bad. And it was bad. I feel like he just refuses to take even the most charitable criticisms. This isn't some unhinged, wild, like, you need to go to jail for whatever. It's, hey, can you just admit selling while you've got this charity going on that your name is attached to is bad when you're the charity guy? Sorry, I don't feel like that's a fair criticism. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. MrBeast does mention in the interview that he asked me in the past to audit his charity. I declined to do so because I'm not a forensic accountant and I don't give stamps of approval. That's not really what I do. I'm an investigator into problems. I'm not an investigator into, you know, good job. You did this correctly. For the record, I like a lot of the charity stuff MrBeast does. It's not any kind of like problem. I don't have any problem with that. I've made very clear what my problems are. And I feel like this interview wasn't very satisfying for those problems, except for the fact that we got some answers from MrBeast. I'm glad we got those. But as far as the substance of them, I personally thought it was pretty disappointing. So, yeah, that's basically it. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.
So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Mr.
Other
Beast
ways
should
to
do an interview with Coffeezilla? I mean, I know you guys are all going to say yes, but I think that that would be the best way to fully clear his name, because we all know that Coffeezilla would actually like grill him pretty hard. Criticism is very distinct from hate, but the internet is thinning that line. Yeah, yeah. I mean, people always like, I'm always open to hearing criticism, but there are a lot of people who become dickheads and then they're like, oh, dude, it was constructive criticism. How was you calling me a piece of shit constructive criticism? I think I'm gonna forget about the whole drama in like 30 seconds again. Yeah, I've been. It's honestly like such a rabbit hole. I feel like the drama just gets fueled because of all the commentary YouTubers that um, fuel it. You know, they make 1,000 videos on it. No, it's not about him being truthful, Cadpack. It's about the interviewer actually pressing him. So it doesn't matter what answers MrBeast does. If he backtracks on a certain question, then Coffeezilla can press him, and now everybody knows that MrBeast is uncomfortable answering that question, if that makes sense. One good video beats 1,000 shit ones. I wish that was the case, but I mean, monetarily wise, not really. Like, more Pegasus is making freaking tens of thousands of dollars a month. You guys really want to see me play Tall Man Run right now? I feel like the second I switch to Tall Man Run, the viewership is going to drop dramatically. Do you think it was a setup? What was setup? The Oompa MrBeast thing? Well, yeah, I mean, it's not about caring about money per se. It's about the fact that if you make genuine content and then you see somebody else making a living off of making shit content, then it makes you think like, oh, is this what I have to do to actually get further on YouTube? You know what I mean? And I'm not speaking for myself necessarily. I'm speaking for smaller content creators who make normal videos and then see all this bullshit content get millions of views. You know, it's just like basically people are encouraged to spit out the same type of video over and over again. Because again, it doesn't matter if I have 100,000 subscribers, 1,000,000, 10 million. I'm always going to consider myself a smaller YouTuber in the sense that my mentality will always be that of a small YouTuber. Like, where I don't want to risk my, like, basically like my integrity to make a certain video, you know? Yeah, I agree with that, AFK user. It does seem like slop is encouraged by YouTube because look at, like, do you guys see how many videos More Pegasus averages? Like, he averages, like, dude, he made a video a day ago, got 400,000 views. He averages like 500,000 to 1,000,000 views a video. And it's been like, it's basically like the same topic, essentially. Take care, God Copper. Yeah, so all I'm saying is when you see people that make content like this, it's a little disheartening. You know, it's not a good example for YouTube, is what I mean. But yeah, I'm probably gonna. How many videos does this dude make? Dude, he made like 30 on like what I'm gonna call them the Lunchly trio. So MrBeast, KSI, and Logan Paul. He numbered it too. I heard he changed the numbering too because he got rid of a video or something. But dude, he made like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 19, 23, 27, 31. I don't know if my math is correct, but like 30 plus videos, basically. Like 30 plus videos. It's not that's just 17 videos on the MrBeast thing. Like he's made a bunch of videos on KSI as well, and he made a bunch of videos on Logan too. Yeah, it's insane. Like, and I know he says that he covers the same pieces of information, but how does that explain the laziness in the thumbnails and the yeah, and then dude, he made a video where he tried to justify it saying, "Oh, but that's the videos that get the most views." Of course they do, because you're misleading them. You're literally misleading them. You're misleading people, and of course it's going to get views. That's like me making a video talking about how I assassinated The Rock, and then I make another video after that, and I'm like, "Yeah, you guys really seem to love the last video. Got a lot more views." It's like, well, yeah, you threatened to freaking kill somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's such a stupid argument. It's like, hey, I'm gonna clickbait, and then I'm gonna justify the clickbait by saying, "Oh, but that's what you guys wanted to see." No, we got misled. That's what happened. Hopefully what I'm saying is making sense. And I'm not trying to grill him. Like I said earlier in the stream, we have talked and he seems like a good guy, but it just like it's a bad example for content on YouTube, you know? Yeah, exactly. AFK user. If I made a video called how I killed this YouTuber, and then I make another video, a follow-up video, and I'm like, yeah, you guys really seem to love the last video. It's like, yeah, well, yeah. Why do you think they clicked on it? I've never seen his videos. Does he add anything with his commentary asking for your opinion? I think he makes good points sometimes, but my argument about him isn't necessarily the video itself. It's the thumbnail and the title. And that was the point that I made, because I made a video criticizing him before. Let me try to find it. Right over here. Pegasus is milking the MrBeast allegations. It's 3 minutes, so it's pretty short. But basically, I was just saying, like, dude, this guy, like, the laziness in his title and thumbnail is what gets to me. Because from what I understand, every video is pretty well edited, and he does talk about different things. But I just don't like how he titles his videos and how he makes the thumbnails, because he made a video trying to justify it, basically saying, like, oh, you know, that's what you guys want to see. That's what gets the most views. But if you mislead people into getting views, then I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling, but basically he also in that same video said money is not an issue for him because he's made like the proper investments in his life. Okay, well, money's not the issue for you, why are you making such damaging content? You know? I don't know. Okay, so I think I'm gonna sign off here, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about the whole Coffeezilla thing. Thanks for joining me. I'll do sporadic live streams whenever I have time. But yeah, take care, guys. Maybe I'll upload later today. Maybe. We'll see. Take care, guys. Thanks for coming.